Hi, I'm using an iPad app here called ReplayNote that looks like a really interesting one. And what I'm thinking is that it might be a really useful way to explore some of the diagrams that you created on Saturday, because we didn't get very much time to do that. So you can see there that it's possible to import pictures into the app, and then the lovely thing about this application is that you can then annotate and draw on them. So I think this is the diagram that was created by Errol and Mark working together. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you can use the comments on YouTube below this video in order to do that. So what we could do, for example, is to pick a new pen colour, like that, and then we can circle particular aspects of the diagram and explore what Errol and Mark perhaps were thinking at that point. So if we look at blogs, for example, we've got a link there from technologies. Clearly blogs are an example of a technology. And we've also got a link coming from online community and interactivity. So it's one of those shared things that we're linking both from the technology side of things and from the online community and interactivity portion. So an example of a technology, also an example of a technology that might support and extend online community and interactivity. So what are the other connections that we've got there to blogs? Well, we've got a connection coming in from varied opinions, and clearly blogs allow people to express varied opinions, and it's a moot point whether they do that to a greater extent than something like a discussion board in Blackboard. And I guess you might consider that they do allow a greater scope of opinions to be expressed, because in posting on your blog, you're posting with an independent voice and you're not necessarily responding to the point made by somebody else as you would be in a discussion board. And so it might be that you can go off on an entirely different tack, that you can approach the problem from a different point of view rather than doing it as a response to a point that somebody's already made. But it does still retain the scope to express varied opinions within the blog, because you can respond through comments and the discussion then can build from a particular post. So I think it's perhaps more flexible to do this in a blog, but the drawback is that it's easier to track in Blackboard. It's more difficult to track a conversation in blogs because the conversations are happening on different sites rather than all in one central place. So I'm not sure whether that's what Errol and Mark were seeking to explore, but it's one thing that came to mind when I was looking at this diagram. So what else have we got there? We've got a link coming in from tagging and referencing. And obviously tagging is a key aspect of blogs that aims to make them more interconnected, so that shared tags between different blog posts can be a point of union between them. So clicking on a tag from my post might flag up that it's a tag that's also being used by somebody else, and that would lead me to their post, and then I could read and compare what they'd said. So again, a tool. That's my cat, if you can hear it, messing about with a piece of paper, so we'll ignore her. So it's a way, I think, again, of encouraging interactivity in online community, and does link in nicely to blogs. Let's just pick one more example. Let's pick a different colour, and we'll look at what's been said about Google Docs there. I've done that a bit messy, so I can undo it. Google Docs, again, obviously it's an example of a particular technology, and it links to this notion of a shared purpose, and clearly that's the case, because if you've got a single central copy of a document that lots of people can edit, then it helps to support that shared purpose of completing the document and drawing it to a close. We've also got a link coming in here from RSS. I'm not sure why. So Errol or Mark, if this is your diagram, if you want to contribute through the comments at the bottom of this YouTube post just to explain what you meant by that link to RSS, that would be brilliant. And if I get a chance, I'll have a look at some of the other diagrams that were created on Saturday. I think this is an illustrative example of the fact that those diagrams would bear some further exploration and explanation, which we didn't get a chance to do on Saturday. So it's worth looking back at them, having a look at the interconnections between different nodes on the diagram, and asking yourself what the creator of that diagram meant when they connected those two things, as I've done there. Okay, thanks for listening, and bye for now.